She had no money, no status, just a heart full of love. You think I cared about crowns or currencies? You walked into my world like a quiet storm, and everything I built out of power and still felt suddenly flimsy. You never understood what it did to me. Watching you give without expecting anything in return, it rattled my spine like someone knocking on a locked door I never planned to open. You, with nothing in your hands, still managed to hold me more tightly than anyone ever has. You never asked for a throne, yet you made me question why I ever sat on one. You moved through life with your empty pockets and your overflowing heart, and somehow that felt more dangerous than any blade pointed at me. I kept telling myself I didn't need you, that I ruled empires and didn't bow to tenderness. But every time I closed my eyes, your face marked the inside of my skull like a brand I never agreed to wear. You don't even realize the chaos you left in me. You think your absence makes you small, but it sharpens everything inside me. I talk to the air now, talk to the memory of you, talk to the sound of your voice echoing in the hollow spaces of my chest. I shouldn't miss you. Men like me aren't supposed to ache, but you moved something ancient in me, something I thought had died before it ever lived. You think you're ordinary, but you carved through my darkness like a blade dipped in warmth. And I hate that. I hate how you made my shadows restless. I hate how you turned my control into dust just by looking at me like I was worth loving. You gave me something I never asked for, and now I can't return it, can't silence it, can't outrun it. You're not here, yet I speak to you like you're standing inches away. Maybe that's the curse you left me with. Your love rooted itself in places I can't rip out without tearing myself apart. You walked away softly, but the silence you left behind roars like a jealous demon inside me. You think you had nothing, but you walked into my darkness with your bare hands and rebuilt parts of me I didn't want resurrected. That's what terrifies me. You did it without trying, without wealth, without status, without power. Just a heart full of love, and somehow that was stronger than any kingdom I own. And now I'm here, talking to a ghost of you, telling the night what I should have told you. You were the only thing I couldn't conquer, because you never wanted to fight me. You still don't understand what you did to me. You walked into my world with nothing but that quiet, stubborn warmth in your chest, and it forced me to look at myself in ways I never wanted to. I've ruled people, commanded armies, broken men who thought they could stand against me. But you, with your soft voice and unguarded eyes, you bent me in a way no force ever could. And now that you're gone, the bend feels permanent, like a mark seared into iron. You think distance weakens what I feel. It doesn't. It intensifies it. Every hour without you stretches like a corridor with no doors, no exits. I talk to you as if you're still here, because silence isn't enough to quiet this fire you left in my ribs. I keep expecting to turn and see you standing behind me, the way you used to, still shy, unsure, still overflowing with a kind of love that felt dangerous in its purity. But your shape isn't here, only the H that replaces it. You don't know the war I fight inside myself. A prince who can command anything except his own heart. Pathetic, isn't it? I can give orders that move nations, but I can't tell my mind to stop answering to you. I keep remembering how you never asked for anything, never tried to take advantage of what I was. That's what makes it worse. Your love wasn't a transaction. It wasn't a strategy. It was simply you. And that simplicity dismantled every wall I spent years crafting. You think I want your wealth or status? No. I want the way you looked at me like I was something more than the shadows around me. I want the way your presence softened the air, how your heartbeat steadied mine without effort. There was a peace in you, a peace I didn't earn. And now that I no longer have it, everything around me feels louder. My authority, my darkness, my emptiness. All of it echoes louder because You're not here to quiet anything. You have no idea how much power you held without noticing. You touched my darkness without fear, like it was just another room to walk through. You didn't flinch. You didn't look away. You didn't try to fix me. You simply stayed long enough to leave an imprint that refuses to fade. I try to act indifferent, but even my indifference reeks of you. I try to stay cold, but even my coldness remembers your warmth too vividly. You're not standing in front of me. You're not listening to this. Yet I keep speaking as though you are, because the words feel heavier when they stay locked inside. I keep reaching for you in memory, because reaching for the world I had before you feels pointless now. You didn't change my life. You rewrote the architecture of my entire soul. You took all the places I kept hidden and lit them up like dawn through broken shutters. And the cruelest part, you never meant to do any of it. You walked in with empty hands and walked out with pieces of me I can never take back. You didn't steal them. They followed you. And now I'm left here, a prince with everything except the one thing that made any of it feel alive. I speak to shadows now, hoping somehow my words reach you, hoping you feel the pull of what you left inside me. Because I feel it every moment, like a pulse that refuses to die. You don't grasp how deeply you've settled under my skin. Even now, with miles of silence between us, I feel you like a pulse beneath everything I do. I try to bury myself in duties, in the noise of people who bow and obey, but none of them can drown out the echo of you. You taught me something dangerous, how it feels to be seen without my crown, without my armor, and now I'm left craving that feeling like a forbidden addiction I can't quit. You think your absence weakens me, but it does the opposite. It exposes me. It strips me down to the raw truth I've avoided my entire life, that you had a power I couldn't control, couldn't command, couldn't cage. You walked away without looking back, and somehow that wounded me more than any betrayal ever could, because you didn't leave out of hatred. You left because you never believed you belonged in my world, but you did, more than anyone. You don't hear me speaking right now, but your silence feels like an answer, a cooled one, a final one. And yet I still talk to you, as if the air might carry my words to wherever you are. I keep hoping you'll feel something, an ache, a pull, a whisper in your chest reminding you that you didn't walk out of an empire, you walked out of me. And I'm still standing in that empty doorway, haunted by the fact that you didn't turn around. You think I miss your presence because you were gentle. No, I miss you because you were the only truth in a world built on pretenses. You weren't impressed by my power, my name, my dominance. You saw through all of it. You approached me like a man, not a title. And that terrified me in a way nothing else has. You made me feel real, too real. And I don't know how to live with that now that you're gone. You never knew how deeply you changed me. My darkness isn't quieter now. It's sharper. It questions me because of you. It demands what it never demanded before, honesty. I've tried to drown it, tried to numb it, tried to silence it. But everything inside me keeps circling back to you. It's as if my soul refuses to forget the warmth your presence carved into it. That's what makes this absence unbearable. The memory is louder than the silence. You don't realize how many times I reach for you without thinking. In the quiet between decisions, in the long corridors of the palace at night, in the moments when I almost speak your name but swallow it because it tastes too much like loss. You weren't meant to stay temporary, but life twisted differently, and now I'm left holding the remnants of a bond that shouldn't have broken this easily. You think you had nothing to offer, but you gave me the one thing power could never buy. You gave me a reason to feel beyond duty, beyond fear, beyond the darkness I've always lived with. And now, with you gone, I'm learning the cruel truth. Losing someone who loved you for who you truly are hurts more than losing an entire kingdom. And I'd trade every throne, every title, every shadow, just to have your voice answer mine one more time. You don't even know how your absence rewrites my nights. I sit in rooms full of people and still feel the empty space where your presence used to fit so effortlessly. You were never loud, never demanding, yet somehow you stole the air the moment you left. I keep trying to breathe normally, but nothing tastes the same when the one person who softened my storms is no longer here to calm the thunder inside my chest. You think you walked away quietly, but your leaving struck me like a hidden blade. I didn't bleed on the outside. I never do. But something inside me cracked the moment you slipped out of my world. And now that fracture keeps widening. I'm a prince who can silence any rebellion, yet I can't silence the memory of your voice calling me back to myself. It haunts me in the gentlest, cruelest way. You don't understand how deeply I still feel you. Not like an echo. Echoes fade. You linger like a constant vibration beneath my ribs, refusing to dull, refusing to weaken. I try to smother it with duty, with authority, with the cold armor I've always lived behind. But the moment I close my eyes, you step back into my mind like you never left, and I let you, because forgetting you feels like betraying something sacred. You think I need your presence to be shaken. No, even your absence rules me. It twists my thoughts into shapes I can't control. I speak to you in whispers meant for empty rooms, as if my words might creep through the dark and find their way to you. I talk to you because the silence left after you feels hostile, sharp, endless, hungry. And I am tired of being consumed by things I cannot name. You don't see what you've turned me into. I walk through my days wearing a face carved from stone, but inside, I'm carrying a storm you lit with your softness. You made me vulnerable without asking permission. You made me want without warning. You made me feel without caution. And now every feeling crashes back at me like waves against a cliff, relentless and impossible to outrun. You don't realize how deeply you fit into the pieces of me I never show anyone. I used to believe those parts were unreachable, untouchable, buried beneath layers of darkness no one could survive stepping into. But you walked straight in, unafraid, and now those layers feel exposed, aroused. You awakened a depth I didn't want to acknowledge. And now that you're gone, the depth feels like a void. You think you left me the same man you met, but you didn't. You reshaped me, rewired me, ruined me in ways I can't undo, and I'm still standing here, speaking into the emptiness like a fool, hoping some invisible thread ties you back to these words. Because for reasons I can't control, I still feel you moving through my darkness like a quiet flame, one I can't extinguish, no matter how far you run. You don't realize how every step you took away from me still echoes like a warning in my bones. I stand here surrounded by everything people think I should want: wealth, power, obedience. Yet none of it fills the space you emptied. You carried no fortune, no status, but you carried a presence that could steady my pulse with nothing but a glance. And now that steadiness is gone, replaced by a restlessness that claws at me from the inside. You think I move on easily because men like me aren't supposed to feel. But I feel you like a bruise that never heals. Every memory of you presses deeper. Every time I try to forget, I keep turning away from it, telling myself you were just a moment, just a spark. But the truth is you burned through places I didn't know existed. And now I walk around with ashes where calm used to be. You don't understand how your softness became my undoing. I built my world on fear, on distance, on walls so high no one dared climb them. But you didn't need to climb. You walked straight through them, unguarded and unafraid. And now those walls feel useless. I try to rebuild them, try to retreat back into the cold I know so well. But everything reminds me of the warmth you carried so effortlessly. You think leaving made us cleaner, safer, simpler. It didn't. It made everything sharper. Your absence is a mirror I can't look away from. It forces me to see the man I became with you and the man I fall back into without you. You made me more human, and now I'm stuck in the uncomfortable space between the prince I have to be and the man you awakened beneath the armor. You don't see how your love changed the language of my darkness. It used to be silent, heavy, predictable. But after you, it became something restless, something that questions why I let you slip away, why I didn't hold you tighter, why I didn't speak the things I buried. I used to command shadows, now they refuse to obey me, whispering your name instead of mine. You don't understand how deeply you still haunt this place. I feel you in every decision I make, every breath I take in the hallways where you once stood beside me. I catch myself turning to speak to you, forgetting you're nowhere near. I catch myself listening for footsteps that aren't coming. I catch myself wanting to share moments with someone who isn't here to hear them. And every time I do, it reminds me how much of myself I let slip into your hands. You think you left me untouched, unchanged, unaffected. But you didn't. You left me with a heart that suddenly knows it's capable of wanting more than power. You left me with a darkness that refuses to stay silent. You left me with a longing I can't command away. And even though you're gone, I still talk to you like you're standing right in front of me, because some part of me refuses to accept that a love like yours can walk away without leaving a trail of fire behind.